people, welcome to episode 74 of Credit 101. In this episode, we're going to talk about negotiating with those creditors where you're not actually behind on your bills. So I want to tell you guys some things that you can do to actually negotiate. Now, the first thing I want you guys to do is make sure that you contact them immediately. So if you know that you're going to be behind on your bills, please contact them immediately. Don't just wait and become too far gone. Like I see people with 90 days delayed, 180 days late, meaning they're charging it off. And they're like, hey, what can I do now? You should have called them when you knew that you could not pay it, like even before your due date. That would be perfect. So call them immediately and make sure that you talk to someone that can actually do what you need them to do. Don't just talk to the customer service rep that's on the phone. Say, hey, can I talk to a manager? Can I talk to someone that can actually do what I need them to do? So tell them your problem and then tell them the solution that you want. So say if you got a credit card that you're behind on, you about to basically have a late payment on it, just say, hey, I'm behind. Is there anything that we can do to probably push back the due date so I don't have a late payment? Can you guys give me extra days? And if you're already late on your account, they're going to report it to the credit bureaus, which is a big thing. Make sure that whatever they do, confirm that it won't hurt your credit. But if you know that they're about to report it to the credit bureaus, try to see what you can do to stop that. They're reporting to your credit, reporting to the credit bureau is going to hurt you so much. So try to see what they can do to stop that. But please contact them immediately, okay? And ask them what can they do. Now we're going to go into a lot of different accounts like cars, leases, mortgages, different accounts that you may have. So we're going to talk about what you guys can do for each type of loan that you have. If you guys have any questions, let me know. We're going to do episode 75. In this episode, we're going to talk about how to reduce those long-term contracts, the long-term debts that you guys have. Hey, welcome to episode 75 of Credit 101, where we're going to talk about reducing your long-term debts. So if you guys have long-term debts and you can't pay them, we're going to get into these in a little bit, but I want you guys to know that you have to reduce them or just get rid of them altogether. Like one of my biggest things was my car note. I hated my car note. So my thing was I just hurried up and paid it off. I thought about selling it. I thought about possibly just trading in for something else. But then I just thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'll just keep the debt. But that was my way of getting rid of it. Like that's debt that's gone now. I still have my car. I don't have the debt anymore. I did not have to continue to pay on that debt. Now, you guys may have all types of debt. So make sure you guys list your different debts. You guys may have a mortgage. You guys may also have a car payment. Maybe you guys have like a lease payment on a vehicle. Maybe you guys may have just student loans or any collateral in general. Please list them all out. And if you know that you can't pay it, you have problems with it, you need to call each one of them and figure it all out. Now, I'm going to give you information on the car payment, lease payments, and those different things in the next episodes. But you got to figure out what you have to do with these payments because a lot of most payments are reporting to your credit report. So if you just stop paying it, you're going to ruin your credit. And it's going to set you so many years behind. So I don't want you guys to go that route. But first, let's talk about these car payments because that was my biggest thing, and I know a lot of people struggle with that. So let's talk about that in episode 76. Hey, welcome to episode 76 of Credit 101, where we're going to talk about more than 5 tips on what you can do when you can't pay your car payment. So if you know you can't pay your car payment, then this is what you guys should do. The first thing I consider when I think about this or what I've done, I consider just selling my car. And a lot of people do this. They actually sell their car. And if they're not upside down, if you're upside down, I don't think that you should do this. But if they're not upside down, what they'll do is they'll sell it. The extra money they make from it, they'll end up paying off their car note, whatever it is. But the extra money that they make from it, they actually get them just a car that they can pay for in cash. And now you don't have a car payment anymore. So that can be a great option for you all. You guys can also think about just paying off your lender. Like whoever is your lender, just pay them off. I did that option. At first, I thought about, because I was actually upside down on my car. I thought about, you know what? Let me just get rid of it. Then I realized that's not going to be good. I might as well just keep it. So I just decided, you know what, let me do Dave Ramsey. And I went through the Dave Ramsey method, just putting all my money towards paying it off. And I just paid off my car. That's what I did. So I think that you guys should actually go that route and try to see if you can talk to them about reducing your interest. That can actually help you guys a lot. So if you have a high interest rate, try to see if you can talk to them about reducing it. A lot of times they're not going to want to reduce it if you have very bad credit because they may need to actually refinance it to reduce your rate or maybe you need to go to another lender and ask them, can they refinance it so that they can give you a better rate? And sometimes too, the next thing is they can probably extend the period. So you can also get a better rate, plus they can extend the period. So some people may have 36 months or 60 months. They can re-extend that. So if you've already been paying on it for 2 years, they can re-extend it back out to 60 months, possibly depending on how much your car is worth. But this can help you all with your payments. Now, the next thing you can do is ask a lender if they can move your payment. So say if you have like late payments already on your car, ask them, can they move those late payments to the end of your loan so that you guys can just not worry about paying that now, but actually pay those on the end of your loan. You can also turn in your car, but if you turn in your car, technically this is going to be considered a repossession and it's going to be on your credit, and you have to think about that. So if you think about turning your car, honestly, I will get another car before I turn it in. And if you guys are thinking about refinancing a car, if you thought about getting another car and financing it, some people just do this, but I just want to throw it out there. If you're thinking about that, like, I'll just get another car, get a better rate, my credit is better now, then please get that car before you turn it in, because it's going to be repossession on your credit, okay? And hopefully you'll get a great rate. Do not start the cycle all over again with your new vehicle. If you know that payment is similar to the one that you have now, please don't start that cycle over. And some people think about doing that anyway, especially doing like tax time. I want to get a new car. I don't want this car anymore. They try to trade it in, just get rid of it. Then you're upside down and they tack whatever you owe for that car from being upside down. They tack that onto your new loan. And I just don't want you guys to do that. So I would rather you just get a car in cash if that's the case, and don't try to look cute for anybody until you can actually afford it. But definitely you guys can turn in your car. That is an option, but it's still considered a repossession. Another thing, just don't transfer. Some people are like, oh, I can put on Turo, or I can do this with your car. Please don't always trust that, because if you guys trust that, you guys can be in a lot of trouble if they don't do that or if they stop making payments on it. So don't just transfer it to someone. Really try to figure out what you could do with it, and really call your lender and ask them what can they do. Now, if they leave you no other choice, then you figure out what's best for you. But I will call them first, and if your credit is decent, then I would try to refinance it or go Dave Ramsey method, get another job for the next few months, just be working your butt off, honestly, and pay off that vehicle. At least you have a paid off car. That's what I would do. Because think about it. Some people turn their car and they ruin their credit for so long. I would rather get a second job, use all the income you get from that second job, hurry up and pay off that car and call it a day. I would rather you do that than to turn it in. Now you got a repossession of your credit, or you have some late payments. You have a lot of stuff going on with your credit, and now you can't get more credit cards. They're decreasing your limits there on the credit cards. They see how bad your credit is. I just don't want you to go that route. So please consider these different things if you cannot pay on your card. Okay. Now the next payment. The next video, oh my gosh, the next video we're going to talk about leases. If you guys have lease payments, that's episode 77. We're going to talk about what you guys can do if you actually have lease payments, what you can do with that. I'll see you all there.